Brett,
should I play a squid
we
boy?
recently realized that you are a given.
I am a given. I'm a given. This is fact. Zach pointed it out earlier.
We are all owed you, and you shall always be.
Yeah, Zach pointed out earlier that I'm a given.
So tell us a little bit how that developed and what that experience is like.
It was very early in my childhood.
You were born.
I may have been born, and it was painfully obvious to everyone in the room that I was born. So, you know,
so
a
at
given.
that point, you knew
I was a given.
and did not know that you were and were not.
I think as a given, you never know fully that you're a given, but people just tell you constantly.
You know, I'm just gonna come out and say I think I might be a given. I mean,
that's a given, John.
but I mean, I don't know if that's really coming out the closet full bold, but I think I'm a given. I'm a given.
He's got. See,
But do you want the pressure of being a given? I mean, or is there pressure? I feel like.
well, every time you say something, somebody goes, "That's a given," and
No.
We're off the rails now.
we've been off the rails. This is an off the rail. This is a knock around podcast. All right, this is no structure, bare bones, painfully obvious to everyone.
Welcome to A Wolf Lives Here, where we analyze video games and media for philosophical, cultural, and artistic significance. And have a good time doing it. I'm John Unger.
I'm Brett Hefner.
And I'm Zach Carnley.
He's here.
And I'm not going anywhere this time.
Nowhere.
Sweet. So what we're going to talk about today is the open world genre of game. We plan to talk about some cooler stuff coming up, a little bit less impromptu, but a couple things we have on the pipe.
We got to get caught up. There's a whole lot of media out there to consume, and we got to, take our sporks out and eat it. And that's what we got to do.
Very inefficient at doing both of those things.
Yeah, it's like I want to do two things bad instead of one thing good.
Yeah, so we're gonna.
I think which perfectly encapsulates like our podcast,
More or less, yeah.
All right.
But we got True Detective podcast coming up. We're still in the works.
Look forward to that.
We have a comparison of superhero franchises right now on TV that are coming up.
Bullshit.
I'm curious.
No, that's definitely happening. We're
are we gonna do the hot seat episode?
Yeah, we are going to do a hot seat episode. We want to prepare for it.
What is a hot seat episode?
The hot topic being our
the one you didn't want to touch.
5 favorite and strong women characters.
Oh shit!
In video games and TV.
That's a hot topic.
Might just start with video games.
And we all boys. We are some boys.
Christina, be quiet.
Oh, geez, we're off to a great start.
Yeah,
we're off to a great start.
Let's just paint ourselves as misogynist from the get. No,
I mean, we want.
So we want to cover that with depth, and we know that it's a hot seat issue. So we want to come in with.
I like that we keep saying a hot seat
because
issue.
I did say hot seat issue and was like, that's I
don't think
that up entirely.
Hot seat issue. I don't think that's a thing.
Like a hot button.
The hot
there you
seat
go.
Like
Thank you for the hot button.
It's the hot button issue, and whoever's talking about it are in hot seats.
Yeah.
Yes.
My seat is hot.
Yeah.
The
pressure is on.
I want to get up. I want to get out of the seat.
But anyway,
so we're going to talk about open world games. So we've had a slow meander into a full blown sprint. Yeah.
All right.
That happened.
Yeah.
So into open world genres where everything is practically
becoming an open world game.
We know where it started, right? We had our Grand
Shots
Theft
fired
Auto.
at life.
but the way that we think of open world games really did start with 3. I mean, once we were in
the way how we understand open world games, probably so, because I mean you could technically say Legend of Zelda for the NES is an open world game.
Except
because there's you could tackle those dungeons in pretty much any order, and you.
Yeah, but those games same thing, because you can make the same argument about older Metroid games even, but you're so limited at first by because that's Nintendo, half of Nintendo's games. I mean that's their whole kick is. Yeah, you can see the entire map, but you don't have the tool.
You don't have the right weapon to get into this room. Yeah,
I think
Grand Theft Auto from the start, you can get in a car and go
almost everywhere.
So
and
what
open
we're
islands.
really talking about then is the certain mechanics that allowed us a certain freedom that we had yet to explore.
Exactly.
So, and those mechanics have slowly been improving or being introduced
Into everything.
and just in general, that's been the progression. Is one new mechanic. You had the open world driving and exploring and mass murder
Of Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah.
And Grand Theft Auto in general. But
Vice-
did anyone ever really play Grand Theft Auto before 3?
I did, but it
I
wasn't.
didn't.
I definitely.
You guys both did.
He's
I
the
didn't
only
play
reason I
Grand Theft
played
Auto 2 until Vice City had come out.
Well, it was awesome.
Tommy Mercedes.
It was the
whatever his
greatest
fucking
hits
name
game,
is.
so I could spend my $10 on it.
Yeah.
And just put in the codes and go on murder.
And just, do that
It
over
was
and
felt a
over.
little dirty.
Dude,
like,
talking about 3 now or the older games?
Talking about the older
older
Because
games.
the older games, I didn't even need cheat codes because cops can't walk upstairs in the first
but they were
Grand Theft Auto games.
brutally efficient at murdering you. So that made it difficult.
I remember a friend of ours wanted Vice City super bad, and his parents said no, so they made him get Grand Theft Auto 2 instead.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was a hard slap, but we ended up just playing that, and it was pretty fun. So I mean,
Yeah. So Vice City introduced like flying, which captivated our attention, and
I think, the entire concept is, there's a reason it took off so much. The entire concept of open world and you're not, it does present you with a story and an objective and everything, but just giving you that freedom to go do whatever you
right,
want
and
without
this
really
has
being punished.
started to appeal to us less and less, and I guess that's I want to explore why.
Well, I don't think it's becoming less and less appealing. I think it's just honestly, we're a little jaded with it, and we just expect
You've
new
been
things.
normalized.
Yeah.
It's
But then,
been
because
conditioned to it to
at no
accept.
moment playing through Skyrim did I ever think, like, man, if this game was, like, more scripted, this would be amazing. It's just, I think it's a lot in the implementation, and, like, it's weird for me to talk, because I don't really like the Saints Row games.
no.
They do, I understand what they've become, but, like, at first I was like, okay, this is clearly just Bobo Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just play GTA 4 and get
Yeah.
a way better story out of it. But then, because not even necessarily all the crime drama games like Mercenaries, those were completely open world. Same thing. It seems like a lot of the open world games are the ones that have cheats, but
absolutely.
same concept. It's just it gives you this entire playground. But then that game, because I remember playing it after playing 3. It's just like the toolbox that it gives you is so much different.
Right.
That because
Well, so what things did it? What things did it allow you to explore that weren't being offered in another game? Because with Skyrim, it is an open world game, but it has completely different things in it. It's an open world RPG.
Yeah.
So it has all the story elements and leveling systems, skill systems. It has a different dimension of things that it offers.
Well, shit, couldn't we say like every RPG since forever has been
No.
essentially open world?
No.
that's the thing that's what I was saying, because without getting punished. You're
Well,
right.
I
Final
think-
Fantasy, you can do your thing. You can wander off. You can go wherever you want. But you take too many steps
Well,
out.
there's another thing too. It's that previous RPGs, it was generally linear.
Yeah.
There was not a multi-path scenario. You couldn't go off and do this set of quests
Yeah.
without doing.
It just had an overworld map.
Yeah.
Basically.
So the open world, I think, as Grand Theft Auto defined it, is really the ability to have a story that is open,
Yeah.
and a set of objectives
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
open. So
Oh, Aziz Ansari is here. Cody walks in.
no. So open world as defined by GTA with this open storyline, that was a new element, and I think that was one of the biggest complaints of like Assassin's Creed, the first one, is that you had like a very repetitive, while it introduced like a completely new mechanic and style of gameplay, it was not multipath. It is its own thing. The open world stealth assassin game is something that, while one might argue Metal Gear kind of falls into, it's definitely not on that level.
Yeah. Metal Gear had always been like a
Pretty linear.
corridor kind of thing.
Yeah.
You'll walk into a nice, decent-sized area, and
It's
handle shit.
multi-path, but it's not
Up until now,
Right.
where it is now an open world game,
Fully.
which is insane. Because everything is becoming more
I
and more.
I wonder how open objective.
Even with the
it's
new
gonna be.
Witcher coming out, I mean, Witcher 2 isn't
Witcher
necessarily...
1 and 2 are straight up linear experiences, and 3 is fully open world. Which
Yeah, I mean, it's so open objective is practically a much better way of describing what we're talking about. So
Well, 2 is definitely more open than the
it's
first
that
one,
thing
but-
when you look at your mini map and there are letters on it, and you can
and or
choose.
symbols.
Or
where
that you
to
go to
go.
a menu that says miscellaneous, and you're like, this is
So
too
we
many
have-
things to do.
We have how many franchises do we have? We have
Talk about
Man,
open world
GTA,
franchises. GTA, Assassin's Creed.
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs. We could talk about Watch Dogs being a disappointment.
I never played it because you bought it and never spoke about it.
Yeah, because it's
So
pretty,
I knew that it was horrible.
pretty not great.
That's the weird thing about it is that like it has most of the ingredients. Like the only thing that was like super disappointing for me was the physics engine, which was just garbage life. Like, oh my god, driving that game just made me want to vomit.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like that
I don't
part
know what it
completely
was.
shattered my suspension of disbelief. I'm like, this guy's like really cool until I just hit a bridge and like I'm fine. Like hit the embankment on a bridge and just like I'm okay.
Like the damage on the
I
cars.
should flip over this and die.
Anything but what happened should have happened. But
Yeah.
It is
That
kind of
really took it out for me. Like they that
I
literally
really
destroyed the game. For
I can't
me.
even put my finger on what I hated about that game, but I really didn't like that game. I beat the whole thing too.
And
which
that
was
it had like
crazy,
a very
but,
melodramatic and
very
like,
much so.
tenuous plot.
Oh my god.
infamous prototype.
Like he was full of passion, but not a really easy, like not a really well developed
No,
storyline. So
he was an uninteresting character. I feel like most of the time.
It is funny now that like it seems like more and more when we first started getting into the open world games, it was more that it was the world was the world itself was the focus, like just exploring all the things you can do and see. But now, like as we've played open world games more and more and more, like the whole concept of making the player feel important with things like in RPGs like Skyrim, where like after you've completed certain achievements, like people will take recognition, or like I mean honestly, every time a courier comes up to me, I'm like, yeah, nice, you guys aren't getting couriers, get out of here. But
No, I've never gotten a courier.
nope. And it's just an interesting thing to me that like we've become like when we first got the open world games, like just the freedom itself was enough, and then but now that it's so normalized.
Free to play us. They have to completely use our addictive tendencies and just mash on those buttons as hard as they can. Just rape us for all that we are.
And then the whole idea of like it's become more and more like there's these sim elements in open world games.
I really do like that. I mean, but that's
because
on
GTA,
some level,
like,
you're
especially
you're
with
talking
GTA
about-
Online, that's kind of
Well, on some level, you are talking about the world again, though. I mean,
Yeah.
like we're just talking about the new developments in open world that have been required to keep us entertained by the world. Oh, like that's a real bird, and he's doing like real bird stuff. He doesn't seem to have like a
he's
really
not just a
well-defined pattern.
path. Yeah.
You know, like these animals really seem to behave like animals, and they, you know.
Yeah, people like in just NPC characters have their own list of like duties and times and chores and needs, and they like the way they react to like things like danger, or like I remember reading an article when they were writing when they were still working on Oblivion that they had to tone down the AI for some of the guards to make them honestly a little dumber, because they would get to a point where they needed food, and the closest thing with food was just like a random item that they had put on a prisoner in the cell, and the guards would unlock the gate, go into the cell, kill the prisoner, take the food.
That's awesome.
But yeah, they had to tone it back. But
Maybe not make these guys hungry all the time.
yeah, right.
That's insane. Like,
Well, that's a general improvement that we've seen.
yeah.
AI has to be more intelligent and at least better programmed. I mean, because when you have like in GTA, when you're walking around in the town, especially in 5, like there are so many people around all the time.
Yeah, so GTA is probably the go-to example of just a immersive and well done artificial world.
Especially with the new one. Like, because I know people that don't really play video games that play the fuck out of GTA 5 online.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, here's this other life you can have where you can have an armored car and a rocket launcher and to blow some dude out of the sky after he griefs you. You can have 6 upscale New York apartments.
Let's just
and
develop that sociopathic side of you.
Mm-hmm. Or hey man, just let you vent it.
Yeah, no, honestly, I have no problem with that. I don't think it's making anybody a sociopath. If anything, it's making them recognize their proclivities towards violence.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
making
I really
you aware.
Want to fucking kill this dude. Why? That's how I feel.
Making you aware of it and giving you a space to do it in. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been a much less even kilter kind of person if I had not played Grand Theft Auto Vice City and realized that I just want to rage on these
dudes. Sometimes you just gotta rage on dudes.
Or like me at 16 who couldn't beat GTA 3 or Vice City because I was like, I would try to do a mission and then it would go around and be like, man, fuck this, I'm just gonna do what I want. Blow cars
I
up.
think I'm just gonna
Blow people up.
everybody. That's a viable strategy.
I'm just gonna blow cars up. That's what I'm gonna do.
I used to love the emerging gameplay in like open world games. That was like the best part about them. It's like
yeah, and that's the part that's really diminished, and that's kind of why I brought this subject up, is because we've really kind of hit a plateau in terms of what they can offer us. So I guess we got a couple paths we can take, and I'd like to take all of them. What would it take to? What are we looking for that would constitute the same level of psychedness, because I don't have words, excitement, for an open world environment? What kind of improvements would
I think we're seeing some of them moving forward.
I guess if we can't achieve those, what would be the limit, do you think? And this is completely speculative. What would be the limit based on our current computing power? What do we think?
Oh, wow.
I mean, there is going to be a limit. I mean, there's only so much you can get out of like our current computing. I mean, until we get the quantum breakthrough and we go to a completely tertiary logic system, we're going to be stuck essentially around. We might get
cap.
Yeah, we're not doubling like we were for a couple decades.
You remember the fucking jump from the PS2? I mean, the PS1 to the PS2.
PS2, yeah.
Holy shit!
We're getting more polished games, but we're not getting, completely reinvented
like wheels.
hardware. We're not getting completely new dimensions of gameplay, and that's what I want to explore, is the new dimensions.
Like what they might be.
Yeah, what they are. So one thing we could definitely see, I think probably the most easily realized thing would be a completely interactive environment.
That seems to be where we're moving towards now anyway, especially, I mean, with the, again, going back to RPG. I mean, RPGs especially because, I mean, in most RPGs, I mean, there are players who want to dig in every single corner, find every single thing.
Yeah.
But then, moving even to, like, the more realistic open world games like Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row and everything, just the idea that you could walk in any door, there's a store, there's always something happening, like, there's always new things to see. And then because I really, really like the superpowered open world games, like
absolutely.
Prototype and Infamous, because of like just the different mobility that you have. I thought about playing Prototype and being able to like smash through the window of one building and then like smash out the other side of it and just like for like a target or something, because especially with the way they have the little web of intrigue targets, the guys you have to absorb. One's like up on a skyscraper and you swing through and grab that guy, smash out the other window.
Yeah, that would be completely new. So
then, like destructible environments.
If you had wholesale destructible environments, you could make the sickest brawler ever.
Yeah.
Like if you were Dante and you could smash the bench and throw shards through people.
Yeah.
How freaking cool would that be?
I'm trying to imagine an open world Devil May Cry game gives me an erection too strong to continue this recording. So
I don't even understand how that would work.
I don't even care.
We don't need to know.
Would that just be like Ultra Witcher at that point, where you're just like a
Stylish
Dante for
Witcher
hire?
Well, I think with that we'd have to get into the probably another element that we'd like to see, which is completely interactive social environments, like to
People,
to have like relationships with characters, and man,
in like the way that you want.
right.
Yeah.
Well, in the way that you can have like completely intelligent characters, you know.
But then see, because we are getting parts of that with the online games, because I mean you're interacting with real people a lot of times, and like I know people that you know they have, we've all had them before. Like we don't necessarily, like I don't really maintain any now, but online, just like online friends enough online that you've communicated enough with, and then to the point where, like, I mean, because I know for a fact these guys I worked with, and they're both like, I mean, this was funny. They don't really play games, but they play GTA 5 online every day.
Yeah.
And
they don't really play games, but they play game.
Yeah, they play
that
game.
one.
And they have this like group of friends that they get online with every time, and then like they map out all of the like everything they're gonna do during that play session and everything, and they've built these relationships. Like even going back to like, I mean, I honestly can't believe we're talking about open world games. I haven't talked about fucking MMOs yet.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one here who's really played I played a.
No, you got real deep into WoW for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, not nearly as deep as anyone else I even know who plays WoW.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did spend about 2.5 years.
Me.
Yeah, I spent 2.5 years playing a decent amount of WoW, and like that, it's completely open. I mean, it goes back to the RPG constraints where I mean, you can go to an area, but I mean, a pig that lives in this town is going to murder you to death. Like, murder you to death.
To death.
The most efficient way. Also check out Murder by Death's new album. They're pretty good.
Oh boy.
Thank you.
Just plugging that.
Thank you, Cody Fornch.
Cool.
Oh yeah. Playing an MMO, and with it being so open, and like most of the NPCs that you deal with are, I mean, like one text bubble guys. They have one thing to say other than shopkeeps or quest movers, obviously, but you are being barraged by cyber interaction constantly between trade chat just rolling, people propositioning you for groups, people
propositioning you for internet intercourse.
Over cyber.
Oh yeah,
lady
asking people to cyber all the time.
Like that's.
I didn't see that much of that, but that's probably PM
I'd be
stuff.
interested to see if you have completely interactive environments. What kind of games can we come up with? You know, like I'm asking directly.
Yeah,
like,
that I mean, because I think that would
like
go back
the
to
hack and slash. You know, being able to like use all. That's like the most immediate, like obvious thing.
That's the most immediate thing. Is I mean, because going back to like illusions of power being such a huge part of like the superhero games. I mean, yeah, if I could play a prototype and when I do the dive smash, level a couple buildings real quick, I mean, that would be
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's visceral. It just is. I mean, going back to like, obviously because it was way pared down, you weren't in large cities, but going back to when I mentioned mercenaries,
full real, and they have to like actually rebuild the buildings. And
yeah,
you have
to hibernate.
You have like a no city. Yeah, hibernate
for 150 years.
You just smoke your electronic
real
cigar
context
for
to
4
your
years.
game.
What?
That's what Snake does now.
Oh yeah.
You have like no context to your game when you come back from hibernation. You have like no plot because everybody's already died.
Everyone you had a storyline with is now gone.
Too real.
Yeah. Hey man, I mean, you can't do it to main quest characters, but I have murdered quite a few quest givers in Skyrim.
Oh yeah. And Fallout.
Don't even.
Oh dude. Oh man.
Yeah.
Fallout 4
coming up soon at an E3 near you.
There's only one.
Yeah.
And it's not near us at all.
Obviously, Zach. Jesus. But no, yeah, that's going to be a big deal because that's another open world game that.
The morality system in Fallout that's not in Skyrim. That's a huge thing. Going back to making the character feel important.
That's.
I feel like 3 nailed it way better than Skyrim because Skyrim it's really pared down.
Better than like fucking New Vegas. Cause
I never really played New Vegas because it just.
Understood. I know there's some people out there that love New Vegas.
There are some like hardcore New Vegas guys who think
there are things in it that looked cool. I was like, oh, the attachments and everything.
The people I've talked to, you either like Fallout 3 or New Vegas.
Yeah,
like, I don't
it's
know
like
too many people that played both.
Yeah, that liked.
Or like that at least like
liked
loved
both.
Yeah,
because I loved 3.
I loved 3, and I played.
Again,
Vegas,
yeah. I think that's why I mean, I really can't imagine that real open world games are going to go anywhere because things like Fallout and Skyrim, like
but let's talk about why
you can create your own story.
Yeah.
Skyrim, I do it because I'm such a dork.
What
you
really
create your own
distinguishes-
story in an emergent gameplay fashion that you keep as like a headcanon.
Yeah, I really do it. I can't help.
Everyone does that.
All right.
But when can I make
full
that
disclosure,
canon like in the game? Like when does that get written down on the walls of Uruk
Great person.
by like?
So in case you're not following,
Don't come at me with the
in
walls
case
of
you're not
Uruk
following
right now.
what they're talking about, they're basically saying, you know, if you do quests in a particular order, you kind of have your own narrative for the game, and so we'd love to see that narrative have an impact in a
Real
very,
sense.
very real sense
In the game.
That if you do, you know, things in that precise order, even, you know, changing one ingredient of the ordering substantially changes the outcome of your interaction throughout, and beyond just a simple karmic system.
Yeah. But I feel like even the imagination based ones are gonna still stick. I mean,
absolutely.
I've played like more than my life. At least
Full blown existential
At-
crisis.
Well, no, it happens every time I think about my Skyrim clock. At least 900 hours total. At least.
You got nothing on Joe and Pokemon and or Smash.
I'm not even trying. Don't even. You're talking this Smash particular?
Yeah.
Well then, okay. Well, duh. I don't own it.
My point is, you have no idea.
Joe is to the listener at home. Joe is on it right now. Actually, just straight slaying on some. This looks like an online match, Joe.
It is.
It is.
You said it is as if we were stupid to ask. Although I feel like emergent narrative is from a technological standpoint, trying to. It feels like you would be trying to program like a bunch of what ifs, like. I mean,
like
because
you'd be trying to
what
program
I'm
an
saying,
AI,
or an imagination, because like what I'm talking about is like, I'll make a new Skyrim character every now and then. I don't know why. It's a mistake. And then I'll go through the whole opening thing, like, oh, dragon, whatever, I don't care. And then I get out of the cave. I hit one of my stones, usually the magic stone, because magic level's really slow. They're right near the cave.
Yeah.
You guys didn't play no Skyrim.
I played
Guys,
enough Skyrim to know
Play
where the
Skyrim.
stones are.
I'm just kidding.
I got to like level 20.
But then I either will, in making the character, have already mapped it out, or we'll just sit there and think of like, what do I want this guy to be? Like, and having nothing to do with being Dragonborn. I have save files with 50 plus hours on them. I've never seen a dragon past Alduin in the beginning.
I just had like kind of an interesting thought, maybe, of like, so you have these, you know, when you level up, you get certain skills that you can like improve. Certain attributes, magic, various like crafting, lock picking, all that stuff you can improve. I'm wondering, like, I don't know if you do it in a level up system or not, but like having kind of like different things you could do with the other NPCs, like different, like if you made a game that was solely focused around like societal interaction, and you did that in an interesting way. I don't know what the narrative would be.
Maybe some kind of. I mean, it seems like something you could do with like
Fallout would be a pretty good example.
or a game where you're trying to gain
but
like
more
political power or something like that,
a House of Cards game. Yeah.
or like ancient Rome.
So a political system maybe.
Yeah.
But like if you had, I think it would be interesting to see a game that is focused more on the societal interactions, and where you're leveling up would actually like
affect like your ability to like get a good deal at a store or like.
But that's
be
it kind of does. I mean,
That-
like,
that's
that's already in
done.
Skyrim. It's a part.
exactly.
That's already, but like minute details, like ability to. Oh man, we're going back into like Mass Effect zone or something.
Yeah, I was like, are you talking about like
ability to-
social superpowers? Like what?
Yeah, or not even social superpowers, but just like really well thought out, well developed, like actual skills that people have. Like, you know, ability to persuade is already within Fallout, and I think that's a pretty good context for it as well.
Yeah.
But I think all the things I'm thinking of are really contingent upon having a heavily developed society, and where a game where minute interactions would
mean something.
yeah, and so I mean that might be just a fucking really boring and pathetic game to play. I don't know how you'd really make it interesting.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, 80% of gaming is about like doing something you can't do in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like for me,
but then
it's all
I don't know,
about
there's
exploring something
big,
new. Like
there's a pretty big like following of people who are playing those simulator games now, where you're just like a truck driver or a farmer. And
or
like,
a goat.
Yeah, or a goat.
Or a goat.
Well, I mean, when you're the goat, you're doing a bunch of goofy ass
open world
shit
gaming,
that a goat,
right? Open world goat.
That a goat can't do. But like the truck driving simulator, you just fucking drive a truck.
Yeah.
And like you drive like a boat. You're like I'm pretty sure there's a street sweeper simulator. Like there are people who are just doing like mundane jobs for video games now. Like,
but to be fair, I mean, like people play The Sims. I honestly don't understand it.
I don't get it either, but
Me
people
either.
dig it, man. Like. To be fair, you get to build a house, which is kind of
hate.
cool.
Yeah,
Like,
but I can build a house in Skyrim.
no animosity towards those.
yeah,
who
but it's like a
Yeah, at all,
prefab like house. Like
just not my thing. I always have to have some like a really new element to capture me. Like I'm like a really snob gamer, honestly.
I want to get one before you turn it off.
Like GTA was really good, but I didn't finish it.
Talking about 3?
5.
Oh, 5? Yeah, I didn't finish it either.
I did finish it, and it was really good.
But like that's the thing. Like I feel like there's something that's genuinely lacking there. That I'm waiting for the new thing to come out that really captures my attention again.
Maybe our imagination is dying because we're getting older.
I don't know if it's that.
That's a very real point.
That's a very real point, and it's the one I think about the most. Is that like maybe shit isn't as fun and as like cool and scary as it was before because like
we're older and
I'm
like,
just old and I understand how things work now.
And I mean, also
I remember the first time I played Legend of
Way
Zelda:
to take
Ocarina
a
of Time.
dark and very real place.
I played Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time when I was like 9 and still believed in magic and shit, I guess. And like I literally
played...
didn't have a concept of what was and was not possible in the game. So like even the most mundane shit, like that stupid shark at the bottom of the like scientist lab at Lake Hylia, that's like clearly just like a texture map on the wall. I used to think that there had to be a way that thing could get out and just like straight murder your ass. Like I knew for certain, and like every time I'd go in that room, like me and Jake would be like so scared, like dude, I hope the shark doesn't come out this time. It's a fucking like it's just painted on the wall, like it's not a thing. Like, but like when you're dumb and an idiot, you don't know that.
When you're
And
a
then,
child,
like, I
you
mean-
can suspend your disbelief entirely.
I mean, and also, I mean, even less fantastical than that, like having played Grand Theft Auto before, I've had a gun pointed at me in real life.
Yeah, well, I guess. Like now it's not as fun anymore.
No.
I don't think I like being a criminal after I've been robbed.
No, I became less fond of it.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy gets to just live GTA, and I'm stuck here, like, trying to play, like, have
That
a
dude
job
doesn't
simulator.
live GTA. That dude robs people
Yeah, I know, but...
and like pays bills
or gets cracked,
and gets crack, you know.
which is also a pretty shitty game to play.
Oh man, I don't know.
Crack simulator?
It's not a fun, crack simulator. Like, it's just, it's a downhill slope. I
Yeah,
hate to be so,
real, but
I hate to be so cliche, but it really just does happen when you play crack simulator.
never played it. Would love to play it.
You tell me that you'd
Heard
love to
it's a
play Crack
powerful
Simulator.
experience. I heard it only lasts for about roughly 10 to 15 minutes, which is totally doable for a person with a career and wants,
I
to
win.
get things done. Yeah, we got to stop talking about doing crack.
But do we?
Well, I mean, hey man, you can do crack. Well, can you do crack in GTA? No, you can
It's
fucking smoke
definitely more
weed.
than a 15-minute game in real life.
I like that. That's
It's
the
a
thing.
lifetime game in real life.
Getting drunk and getting high in open world video games is like always a thing these days, and that's always really fun because you get to see like what people's perceptions of what each
Getting-
drug does
Or
is.
what they
To be
feel-
fair, I do
what
love-
they feel as a PC representation of those
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
like-
always really interesting.
When you smoke a bunch of bowls in your online apartment in GTA 5 and you stand up and everything's just fuzzy.
Yeah.
You're like,
Or I mean, I definitely love drunk driving in
that
GTA 4.
That would be really interesting if you had a well-developed social environment because you could just miss cues all the time.
Yeah.
Forget.
End up in fucked up situations.
You
It'd
just-
be like real life.
Like
I'm already
Stoner
playing.
Simulator, you
I'm
just-
already playing Stoner Simulator. Like, I don't need like to play it online.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna spitfire this. All right, so I'd like to hear your number one thing you'd like to see from open world genre that has not been realized yet, and the best detail that you can provide it. Zach, you should start because you're just a whirlwind of creativity.
Actually, that's a good question. I'm trying to think, man. I'm trying to think.
But like talk.
They can't hear me thinking.
Out loud.
I think that's definitely gonna be mine too.
Yeah.
It's just a more like really
We
realized.
paused, so you have to say what you're talking about.
I thought.
We are live.
Oh, okay. That's why I started talking.
Good.
Talking about how the. Wait, did you record your question?
No.
I did.
Yeah, he did. We recorded a question.
Wow, this is gonna get cut.
This is a messy podcast. Look, guys, this is a knockaround cast. Like we said at the top, this is a knockaround cast. You know, we came in here, we sat down, we started to shit out some ideas. You know this. Our next one's gonna be a lot more refined. It's gonna be like it was before. We're gonna have a really clean cut.
This is a real
topic.
round table.
This is more of a knockaround cast.
Off the cuff.
Off the cast.
Not to say that our first one was particularly.
Great. It wasn't great, but we got a lot of compliments.
Yeah, we got some good content in there with some mediocre content.
Yeah. We're good.
Are we still live right now?
We are live.
Okay.
All right. So your idea
Yeah.
for open world.
I think it's all of right.
I think it's at least yours and mine. I feel like the most important thing to do now, as far as like, because it kind of hits every base. Like, I mean, because it is an emergent aspect of the game to see the things that you've done, especially in open world RPGs, but even in like, dude, there are more people in the city during Grand Theft Auto 5 who would know Trevor.
Yeah.
Because that dude is a literal lunatic.
He should be like splayed out, like on the news and shit.
And he should literally also at all times have at least one wanted star. If when you switch to him, like, because you switch to Trevor sometimes after switching him, he's literally
that's cool.
robbing something.
Yeah, he's
and then
literally
you
in the
start
middle.
with one.
Yeah, that's cool. They did kind of do that.
That's an
which
emergent narrative.
is cool. 'Cause,
But then with the-
you'll literally switch to him and he'll be being chased by cops. Which is good shit, you know.
But
I like that.
I think more specifically, what I mean is in like RPGs and the superhero games, like we were talking. I keep going back to Skyrim because it's absolutely 100% my favorite
It has a
open world
tattoo on
game.
its leg.
Yeah.
It's my favorite
Pretty-
open world game ever.
Pretty invested.
It's pretty.
Dude, when Elder Scrolls 5 gets announced, I'm going to come. Again,
Hi, Mom.
sorry, Mom. Please don't listen to this one. Can we cut out come? No, please don't.
No,
Ma, look, this is how I talk. This is
my
raw.
life, Mom. You stay out of my life.
I'm a grown
C-O-M-E, come.
I'm a grown goddamn man.
I'm going to come
Stop.
out.
No, but
Play.
But what we were talking about is just like, because you do things in these games that affect every living person in the world, and then you still like are getting hassled by some dick merchant somewhere over like.
Right.
I feel like, hey man, we all know I literally saved us from extinction or something. But then even more specifically, like the College of Winterhold thing.
Yeah,
I feel like
that was-
every single mage, especially because I thought about it before, because in Skyrim, one of the random enemy encounters you come across is like mage duels. It's always out, and then the higher you level, the stronger the mages that are fighting. But you always run across. It's usually like a fire and an ice mage fighting.
Yeah.
Just out in the wilderness. I feel like if I'm the fucking archbishop.
Of the College
Archbishop
of Magic.
of Winterhold, they would know who I am, still try to challenge me, or at least but say something
At
about
least
it.
notice it.
Yeah,
And the only reason
either
they don't
back
is
down.
because of the constraints.
Yeah,
So I mean, like, I'm sure they have these ideas, but I
And
just
it's
want
also because the
technology-
AI
I
is
don't know
treated
if it is.
differently.
Like, I just think it's. Maybe,
it's also
maybe they have
it's an
good
exhaustive amount of writing. I mean, honestly, like that's
But when you're already writing whole
Yeah.
novels for the
yeah,
game,
right.
like maybe not so many novels, maybe more like Wizard sees you and
So
is like,
it
yo, you're
seems
the
like- it
Archbishop.
seems like
I
Fuck
used the
you,
mod.
like-
I used the modding kit to put a book into Skyrim.
It seems like you have. It seems like you have a tiered structure. Like
Put
I
a link
just
so you could download.
thought thought about that. Like, this might be how you implement what we're talking about. Because I think we all have been pretty much talking about the same thing. But, like, so I was talking about micro events that might be, completely boring and, like, uninteresting. So you could have tiers of events based on who it affects, right? I mean, just in terms of practical implementation, like, this affects all the, boating enthusiasts.
All the sailors are gonna know you're like the dopest sailor.
Exactly.
Like, I dig that. That's
man,
awesome.
I'm glad I put down Sailing Simulator to try this game. These guys really
all the programmers are gonna like totally suck my nuts after this event.
Yeah.
Or
all the programmers.
all the people that we don't interact with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Are the people we're referencing right now. But yeah, like a tiered structure. Like you have smart, classes of character that you could have multiple classes. Characters could be a part of multiple classes. But you group people in a smart way and then have events that affect all these people. You could even have like a permeability coefficient for like how likely somebody is to
it'd be like a percentage chance,
and then have them react
D&D,
to
baby.
not knowing it. Like you could have discovery moments and you're like
do you know who I am? I'm the fucking College of Winterhold
but I feel
guy.
like because I just thought about it seems like at a point
interact
though
with, I am a coder,
there
I
would
am
be
a programmer. That's why you get that.
when you said a tertiary system earlier I was like ugh.
Oh boy.
Did I say tertiary?
Yeah, you did. Did you mean
I
something
said
else?
hierarchical.
You said tertiary.
Yeah, you said tertiary.
Whoa.
Uh-oh. You better go back and
Check
I
your
don't remember
numbers.
saying tertiary.
You did. Because I remember I was like, man, I know what tertiary means, but not in this context.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Just for the listeners at home, Brett and I are pretty
dum-dums. We're some dum-dums. All right, so we're like here for like all you dumb guys
it's
to like
completely disingenuous
self-insert
for me to
us.
say don't interact with programmers when I am in
Thank
fact
you
a
for
programmer.
referring
It
to
is.
them as all you dumb guys.
Yeah, all you dumb guys out there.
We love you though.
You can really look forward to me and Zach representing.
I can't imagine.
But
you guys are way smarter than me, both of you.
no, shut
Bullshit.
your mouth, John. But before we start like jerking John off on this podcast,
I really can't.
Because that's the last thing everybody wants to hear.
I mean,
Or maybe it's not. I don't know.
No, I'm
Dumb guys love to
on.
hear other dumb guys jerk each other off. Like
Weird.
it's just
God
no,
damn it.
that's
weird.
just a broadcast. That's what.
The broadcast. Yeah,
Just straight broke.
it's funny though because that works both ways. If it was all chicks, broadcast. Bring it on Tumblr.
See, that's what I'm saying.
fight me. Here we go.
But no, look, what I wanted to say though, because I
Stir
do,
in the
pot.
math and science.
I really do. What I really would like to see is like that sense of importance and accomplishment in the game. But I feel like with the games being so open, and I just thought about it, there's sort of like a logical limit there because it is kind of shitty like when you've become the Archbishop or whatever, and people don't know that. But then I realized later in the game I'm in charge of the College of Winterhold. I'm the head of the League of Assassins. I'm the head of the Thieves Guild. I'm the head of the mercenary group, the Companions.
Pretty much
I'm
president of Skyrim.
I've like taken over research for this other guy on another island.
Yeah, so
far
like
off.
if people did recognize you, they would have a list of things they have to go through.
Exactly. You're shirking your fucking responsibilities.
Yeah.
It would be a game
Which
with
is
no
why they would
miscellaneous
just
quests.
refer to you as president.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. President.
They would, I think at that point, like
Mr.
John said, it would have to do with like whatever they're the most
The
tied
person,
into.
yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever the person's the most
A
tied
commoner
into.
would probably recognize you more from like the hey, I saved the world.
Yeah.
Or like man. See, but it's funny the little things they do nail though, because like I love it when you get the little letters. If you do a shout in a town, sometimes like even if you don't hit anybody, because I get bored and I just want to like
shout
it at the sky, and like, and then like
real life.
a couple days later, a letter will come to me and be like, "Hey man, like that really wasn't cool.
No, don't
Like,
shout in town.
Please try not to like use your scary powers that terrify everyone. Like, well, I mean, magic is real, but what you do is scarier. Really, man? You haven't seen
We got half dragon guys walking around, but they don't want you to fucking
damn
yell
it.
into the
I don't
sky.
know.
I think,
but we
I
were
think
talking
we
about-
pretty
yeah.
much
Never mind,
we
yeah.
pretty much covered what we're going to cover. Keep listening to us.
Wrap
I
it up!
promise
You wanna
we're
do-
going to.
Are we gonna do current events or?
What current events?
I don't know. I thought
Yeah.
that was like a thing. one day.
E3.
We're probably
coming up.
start going over current events in future podcasts.
In pop culture.
Next week we won't do this about games, probably.
Hopefully.
Well, yeah, we've already outlined what we're gonna cover. We're gonna have a True Detective episode. We're gonna have a Marvel or a TV superheroes analysis, and we are going to do the top
I said
5
Game of
women in
Thrones.
video games and
Nobody.
and our top 5 and why in TV and video games. So stick with us. Bye for now.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye. Yeah. Bye.